Okay, so I feel like it's time to talk about something I wanted to talk about for a long time, but I haven't really allowed myself because I've been so afraid of what people would think and what they will say and blah blah blah. And I still am, but I don't care. Like, I do care, but I don't care. You know what I mean? I care, but I won't let that affect how I show up. So, this video is going to be about wombs, bleeding, pussy, and how women have been living in a dude world, like a dude based world, when everything has been very focused on the masculine and the feminine aspect have been so repressed and suppressed and like ridiculed and put down and seen as less than. And women have been trying to fit themselves into a man world and ignoring their bodies, ignoring their needs to survive in a world that is made for men and masculine energy. So let's just start at the beginning. We've been living, or we live still very much, but it's changing. We live in a patriarchal world. What is a patriarchal world? It's a world that values masculine and male qualities more than feminine ones. It's a world where everything that is masculine is seen as better than what is female. So like outward energy focused world, like achieving is so valued and like the number one thing, and resting is seen as a weakness. Going inwards and like doing work on yourself is seen as, oh, there's something wrong with you, whereas being happy all the time is seen like, yeah, that's good, that's perfect, even if you're faking it. So a patriarchal world is a world that values masculine qualities over feminine qualities. And as women, we've been trying to fit ourselves into a masculine model of living, into a masculine world where our bodies don't work as masculine, like male bodies. And the thing is that women have been trying to prove that they can do everything that men can, and they can. There's no like doubt about that. But is that actually good for us? Does that actually feel good to us, or are we just trying to prove something? Like, we are different. We are biologically different, men and women. We have different needs. Our bodies work in different ways, and it's not that one way is better or worse. And like, men and women both have masculine and feminine energies. But you can't deny that there is a big difference between men and women, because women bleed. Like, we have a menstrual cycle, and our moods, our way of showing up shifts with our cycle. So the 2 first weeks of our cycle, like when we stop bleeding, and 2 weeks, like up to ovulation, depends. Everyone's cycle is different. The 2 first weeks of your cycle, you're more in masculine energy. So you're more in doing and going outward, and like, yeah, like in masculine energy, you're doing, you're producing, you're achieving, you have more energy. And then the 2 second weeks, like the last weeks of your cycle, you're more in feminine energy. You're more in stillness, in resting, in going inward, in exploring your inner world, in going into the shadow, going into what needs to be expressed. Like, it's very different energies, and you go through these phases. So like the maiden phase is the first week. It's like when you're young and you're like maybe a little bit, it can be seen as naive, like you're a little bit naive. You just jump into things, and that energy is beautiful to work with when you're doing like rocking the boat or risky things. Then the second week you move into a different phase, and the third week you move into a different, and the fourth, like you move into different phases. And I can do a video about those another time because it will be too long. So your cycle, like your hormones are changing and your needs are changing. So you can have like, and it also changes from day to day. So like being a woman is a very unpredictable way of being. It's being in this flow. So it's not like this linear, logical way of being. Like I can set a goal. So I'll start here, and then I go here, and then I end up here. It's not a linear way of being. And the world is really not linear either. But we have made it so by trying to control everything from this unbalanced, masculine, patriarchal energy, this patriarchal world. And when, like, as women, when we try to fit ourselves into this model, we constantly feel like we're not enough, or we're too much, or there's something wrong with us because we our moods are changing, our needs are changing, everything is constantly changing and flowing and moving. And when you live in a world when everything is straightforward and linear, you feel like, oh shit, there's something wrong with me. Well, I'm here to say it's not. Nothing is wrong with you. You are different. You are not a man. Like I saw this TED talk, women are not small men, and that's so true. Like you're not a man, you have different needs, you have different ways of being, you have different ways of expressing, and it's not worse and it's not better, it's just different. Like we live in a world where different is wrong. And why? Can we just let that go? Can we just accept different? So I kind of lost my track. Yeah, so we live in this patriarchal world and we try to fit ourselves into this model. And so many women like push all their feelings down and push their tiredness down, and we live like on constant adrenaline. We live on constant stress because we try to do much more than we actually want to. If we truly look within, then we want to and need to. And we also have this pressure to be perfect in every area of our lives. A perfect daughter, perfect mother, perfect wife, perfect worker, perfect like everything. In jobs, women often try to do much better than men to prove that they can, to prove that they are worthy, because we have been so put down in the past. So, like, imagine, it's fucking exhausting. It's honestly fucking exhausting to live in this way, to push your body into being in a way that it's not. And so many women have like enormous menstrual pain, and you're not supposed to feel pain. Like why have we accepted that it's normal to feel pain, and we push down thousands of pills into our bodies to numb that pain so that we can fit into this world and keep achieving when we actually don't need that? It's killing us. It's not honoring our bodies. You're not supposed to be in pain. Of course there can be like some discomfort, and you can feel something going on in your womb when you're bleeding, and yeah, there's something is going on and you can feel that. But when you're experiencing really deep pain, That's not right. That's not something that is just, oh, I'm just a woman. That's the way it's supposed to be. Like, I'm not trying to shame anyone for their pain. Like, I've had enormous pains in my life. I have laid on my bed, I have thrown up, I have like whatever, I have done it all from menstrual pain. And in my case, that pain came as this messenger, as this like wake up call of like, women, you need to change something. You need to stop living the way that you're living. You need to start listening to yourself, listening to your body, to your needs. And the more I do that, the more I tune into myself and honor my womanhood, which is beautiful, I don't feel pain. The less pain I feel, like most often now, I don't feel any pain when I'm menstruating. And I felt like, before, I felt like that won't be possible. I felt like this is just the way it is. I'm going to be in this pain, and I hated bleeding. And now, like, my menstruation, my bleeding time, is the time I love most. Is the time I love most of my cycle. I love bleeding. I love being in this state of rest, in this state of clarity, in this state of surrender, in this state of like when everything is just shedding and letting go. I love bleeding. Like, I look forward to my cycle, to my bleeding time. So you're not supposed to feel pain, and if you do feel a lot of pain, there's no shame in that. It's just your body's way of telling you something is wrong. Listen to me. Like, it's your womb calling to you. She's like screaming in pain. Please listen to me. Please listen to me. That's what she's saying. So that's a little bit about patriarchy and the world, and how women try to fit themselves into this world, and how that affects us and our cycle. Like, I know so many women that are in deep pain when they are menstruating, and they are going to work and they are pushing that pain down. I have done it myself. They pushing that pain down, and it's just like month after month after month, they feel like they have to do that. Like, there is no other way, but there is. And it's not easy. It's not like, like changing, like, oh, I'm just gonna listen to my womb now. It's a journey, and it's a process of coming back to your body. So I can help you work deeper with this. So if you want deeper assistance, if this resonates with you, if you want to connect with your womb, if you want to end the pain, if you want to have a better relationship with your womanhood, reach out to me and we'll get into that. This is something, like, it's been such a big part of my journey, and it's something I'm so passionate about. I can't even tell you, like, your womanhood is fucking beautiful, and it longs to be honored, it longs to be loved, it longs to be expressed. So reach out to me if you want go deeper with this. I'm also going to be creating, if it feels right and aligned, because I'm not really sure right now, but if it feels right and aligned, I'm going to be creating a program, or like a self-study guide or something like that, with the theme of woman pussy, so that you can really go into your womanhood and go into those deep wounds and those pains and all of that is related to like your body and your sexuality and your bleeding and your pussy and all of that. So that is something that I'm going to be doing if it feels right. But if I don't, just reach out to me and we can figure out another way. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about is your pussy and your body and like your breasts and everything about you. In this patriarchal world, we have been told that there is like this model of beauty, and that's beautiful. And if you don't fit into that model, you're ugly, you're not enough, you're this and that. Bullshit. Like every single woman is an expression of nature herself, and she is fucking beautiful. No matter how your nipples look, no matter how long your labial lips are, no matter how your pussy looks, she's fucking beautiful. If she's dark, she's light, she's this long, this shape, this way, beautiful. Like you will only feel ugly, you will only feel judged if you keep judging yourself. So it's about the relationship you have with your womb, with your pussy, with your body, with everything. It starts with you, so you can change that. And when you feel beautiful from the inside, and when you feel beautiful, like no matter how you look, if you have pimples or stretch marks or hair or whatever, no matter what anybody else says, it won't, like, maybe it will affect you. Of course you like can feel vulnerable, but it won't feel like, you won't take on what people are saying to you as your truth. You won't feel, even if you have a moment of like, oh, I'm ugly, then you take that ugliness and you take that feeling and you hug it and you're there with it and you listen to it, and then you come back to the truth of, I'm beautiful, no matter what anybody thinks. So our relationships with our pussies and our sexuality have been like to please men and to fit into this patriarchal model of being like skinny, or now it's like having a big butt and thighs and being like, an hourglass. Or being skinny, having big boobs, being blonde, or like really extremely beautiful in the way of, I don't know, like this cheekbones things and all of that. And I spent my teenage years only on my looks. I focused only on my looks. I was so focused on my looks. I have had every eating disorder that you can have. I worked out for like every day, 2 hours every day. I ate an almond. I had the perfect body. I had my perfect gold body, and I spent all my money on like my hair and makeup and all the clothes and all of that. And I felt like shit on the inside. So it didn't matter. I was this perfect Barbie doll and I felt like shit. I felt horrible and I did not feel beautiful, because it's an inside thing, not an outside thing. No matter how much you try to fit into these models, it won't give you the validation you're looking for, because what you're looking for is on the inside. It's not outside of you. So like I tried to fit into this model and I felt so ashamed of how my body looks. I always felt like my breasts are too small, or my stomach is too big, it's pointing out too much, and I'm too hairy, my hair are very dark, and I don't have this perfect beautiful little pussy, and like all of it. And at some point I just felt like enough is fucking enough. I'm not, like, my worth doesn't come from how I look. And my pussy is beautiful, my breasts are beautiful, and of course I have days of insecurity. Of course these things still come up, and this conditioning is very deep. But now, like, I'm not falling into that in the way that I used to. Like, now I have come to this place in myself when I can walk around with hairy legs and I don't care. I can walk around with hair under my arms, and like, of course if somebody looks at me, I can get this like shameful feeling in my body, and I just accept it and I allow it to come. because I don't want to let shame rule my life. And yes, sometimes it does. Sometimes I get into these shame spirals. But most of the time, I'm able to be aware of what's going on and be like, okay, do I really want to buy into and subscribe to that way of being and putting my worth in what other people think? Or do I want to be free and true and honest with myself, with what I want, with what I feel? And what we haven't been taught as women, that our wombs and our pussies are like these power places, and they are constantly speaking to us. They have wisdom and messages and love and expressions that they want to share with us. But we have been taught to numb everything down and not trust our feelings and not trust our bodies. So we don't know how to access that wisdom. We don't know how to access that power. And it's an ongoing journey for me to go deeper with that, to go deeper with myself and listen to my body and come back to my body and listen to my pussy and listen to my womb and listen to my heart and like come back to myself. We have been taught that we have to be, look, behave a certain way to be loved, but we don't. Like, we don't. Every part of you is beautiful and perfect. Every way of being is perfect. Your pussy is perfect, and she longs for your love, for your approval, for your attention. And another thing that is really, I don't know how to express, messed up, I wouldn't say messed up, but that is just not serving, is that so many women are so cut off from their sexuality and kind of feel afraid to touch their own bodies and feel like they are so insecure that just touching themselves brings up all that insecurity and they just like back away. But if you stay with that insecurity, it has gifts to give you and it has healing to bring to you. Like, it's okay to be insecure and still go into yourself all the time. We have been taught that we need a partner to explore our sexuality, and it's beautiful to do that with a partner that we feel safe with and like appreciated by and valued by, but it always begins with ourselves. Like, you need to explore your own body, you need to know what you find pleasurable, and also like, what is your relationship with pleasure? What do you believe about pleasure? Is it okay to feel pleasure? Is it wrong? Is it indulgent? Like, what is your relationship with pleasure? So you need to first check in with yourself. What is my relationship with pleasure? And what is my relationship with my pussy? What is my relationship with my body? How often am I touching myself lovingly? How often am I listening to my body? How often am I massaging myself, touching my own breasts? How often am I masturbating? And am I just masturbating in a way to, like a dude way, to just come and get an orgasm? Or am I present and in touch with what's going on with my body, all the sensations, all the beauty, all the messages and wisdom? So you need to explore your body first. You need to have a relationship with your body so that you can tell your partner and guide your partner to what you like, to what you truly, really like. And be vulnerable in that, like be vulnerable in telling what your needs are, what your likes are. Be vulnerable in saying what is your truth. And be vulnerable enough to explore yourself, to explore your own body, to go into all that pain, to go into all that shame, to go into all that guilt, all like that sadness and grief, whatever it is that your pussy and your womb and your body is feeling. Be with all of that. And you will also notice when you start to explore and play and like be in touch with yourself that it's not like you have one need and it's always that way. It changes too. Like some days you might like being touched in a more rough way, and some days you might like a very gentle way, and some days you might like a little bit of both. Like it's about being in flow, in touch with the present moment, what's going on right now. And it will change, it will evolve, it will be that way, in this way, and another way. And it's all about coming back to yourself, to your needs, to your wants, coming back to your body. So that's a start of what I had to say about that. And like, this really wanted to come out of me so badly. I've been wanting to make a video about this for a long time, and I've been just doubting so much and fearing, really, like, and also feeling shame. So it feels really good to have talked about this and showed, given space for this conversation to be open. Like, I'm so happy to live in a world where it's becoming more and more normal for women to talk about this stuff with each other, with the world, and like just being open. Like, yeah, I'm a sexual being, I have a pussy, I have needs, and yeah, I'm gonna talk about that. I'm not going to hide. Like, I was taught to hide my sexuality. I was taught to not speak about my period and like hide my pads, and like it's this shameful thing. And I've been doing so much healing around that, and it's changed my life in so many ways. It's so liberating, it's so freeing. I've come to this place where I collect my menstrual blood and I use it in rituals. I use it to fertilize my soil. Menstrual blood has the highest amount of unique stem cells. And like, these stem cells only exist in menstrual blood. They are extremely healing, and they are extremely fertilizing, they are extremely nourishing, and they are extremely intelligent. Menstrual blood is like this gift from the universe, it's this gift from Mother Earth, it's this beautiful expression of Mother Earth. And being able to use it in this way, connect with it this way, it's taken time to come to this place, but it's beautiful and it's freeing, and it's showing me another way of being as a woman that is connected to my body. And like a couple of years ago, not a couple of years ago, maybe like 5-6 years ago, I would feel disgusted by that. I would judge someone for saying something like this. I would. And now I'm doing it myself because I've worked so much on healing that relationship and the way I see myself in my womanhood. And it's not an easy journey. It's not like a straightforward journey and like, okay, now I'm just gonna heal. I have days when I feel ashamed and bad and feel insecure about my body and how I look, and days when I don't even want to touch myself, and days when I feel and those are the days when I need my love most, and my compassion and my understanding most. So being with your body, being on this journey is extremely challenging, extremely illuminating, because it's also showing you all the dark places, all the places where you try to manipulate or use your body to get something, or try to control men with your body or with sex or with whatever. I have personally not used sex as a reward thing, but I know many people that have. And it's so like, it's a pity that we do that, because it's this beautiful expression of ourselves, our sexuality, and we use it for manipulation and getting what we want. I have not used, I have not used sex as a reward, but I have used my body as a way to get validation. Like most of my teenage years were all about getting validation of my body and my looks. So like it's this manipulation thing when trying to get validation and trying to get the love that we want, and we will never get it in that way. It's a journey, and it's, as I said, it would show you a lot of darkness inside of you. It would show you a lot of ways that you've been using to get what you want that don't actually give you what you really truly want, because you seek it as an outside thing. So this video has been very long, and I've said a lot of different things, and I will be making more videos about this. I will be focusing on more specific subjects and maybe going more into the phases and going more into how to develop how to develop a relationship with your body, with your pussy, with your womb, how to go deeper into that. And if you're watching this and something resonates and something feels like it's clicking, something feels like, yeah, I want to change that, I want to go deeper with this, you can go to my website. I have packages where you can buy like self-study guides and meditations, blah blah blah, but we can customize that to something in this this area. And I will really be, when I have the energy and the alignment and when it feels true and right and like go time, I will be making more offerings in this area, in this subject, like with body love and pussy love and womb love. So if you feel interested, if you feel interested, if you feel like this resonates, I will give you a link to my website below. And maybe I'll also post a link to my Facebook community that I really encourage you to join. It's a place where you can share yourself, where I share myself, where I give I have different things. Sometimes I have circles, sometimes I have reflection Sundays, sometimes I have oracle cards that I give for the week. It's like this different things that I offer for free. So I will be posting that link as well. And feel free to reach out to me, feel free to ask questions, feel free to speak about it, feel free to share your story. I would love to witness you and see you and share your thoughts and your experiences and whatever is going on inside of you, and how your relationship is with your body, with pleasure, with your pussy, with your womb, with how you view the patriarchal world, how you have seen these conditionings and these patterns, and just share whatever feels right. So thank you so much for watching, and I wish you such a beautiful day, and explore your pussy, explore your womb. Do it, girl. You're worth it. You're worth it, even if it's uncomfortable and hard. Thank you so much, and mwah.